Well, we just got 3 cows loaded. We're about to haul them. We got some storms fixing to move in. But I noticed that one of the heifers has something hanging from her mouth that shouldn't be there. Take a look. Hopefully the camera picked that up okay, but that's a hay twine from a square bell. Don't know how she got it because I hadn't really been feeding them hay. Needless to say, it's there, so we got to get it out. I got it. I'll wear a size 13 boot, and you can kind of see roughly how far she had swallowed this rope. I'd say pushing 3 feet, 2.5 at least. Man, glad I got that out. Okay, it's the next day now. We have the cow trailer, but we're not hauling critters. We're gonna move the corral for right now up to the front of the property where there's that one of the shelters are. The only water source, the spout, is up by that shelter for this property. The second line that runs the full length of it with all the other spouts was not installed properly and is full of holes, so the valve is shut off for that line. Right now I need pen space, and some of the cattle that I'm going to be putting in the pens are going to be here for a day or two with us, and I need them to have water, so we're going to move it up there. That is where I'm planning to build the more permanent setup eventually, and I guess this is going to be the start of it. So we're going to get that moved up there. I have the trailer here. It's only 50 or 60 yards, but I figure if we could put the majority of the panels in the trailer and back up over there, it'd just speed things up a little bit faster. So that's what we're going to do. All right, we just drove over here. We did get the entire corral in the trailer. I did have to put the gate across the bed of my truck just for the fact that it was both too tall and too wide to fit into the trailer. And I could have leaned it and got it in the trailer, but I would have had to have taken several of these panels out to give me the space to do so. That worked out fine. We only had to drive, like I said, 60 yards or so. We are here. This is the northeast corner of the property. I don't know if you can see it, but right there at the corner of that shelter is the blue faucet. That is the only water source as far as that kind of water goes. Behind this barbed wire fence right here is the artesian well ditch, but you can also see this is the fence where 2 videos ago we spent time cutting a lot of it down, and we're fixing to finish it up. But this is where I want the new corral to be ultimately. We're gonna have a lane that flows back into that pasture eventually, but that's gonna take time. Right now we're just gonna put these panels up. It'll give animals access to that shelter, water, and just ease of access for me. And then we can add panels and sink posts in the ground as we need to, and really make this a neat setup for working pens. We are gonna get these panels unloaded and kind of show you what it looks like. All right, well, maybe that wasn't that cool, but we did get it done. I still need to move that silver panel that acts as kind of a gate to force them into the trailer back over here. It did get us about halfway back to the driveway, a bit further away than I really want to be, but as long as it's not just crazy wet outside, it'll be fine. And we are going to continue to add panels. And like I said, I'm not using these as the permanent setup. I'm going to sink posts in the ground and actually build a metal pipe one. But this is going to get us going until we can get to that point. Cut some of these trees and these taller, thicker weeds out. It's a small portion of a big, long section of property that I want to get cleaned up, but I've not found myself a tractor yet, and I've not convinced myself it's worth paying somebody to do it yet. So we're going to clean up the area that we're using, and hopefully before too awful long we can get the rest of it cleaned up. No. Yep. Any stick and anything big like this you can find, throw it over. Over in that taller grass in front of the metal shed, there's a big tree, remember? We cut down, that was in the driveway. It's over there. We're going to put all of it on there and burn it. Be careful because there's some thorny stuff sometimes, okay? Oh, not Okay, so we finished up in the pen, getting all that cut. We're coming back here to our fencing project along the north end here. We're gonna use the saw again and cut some of these little sapling trees out that hung us up last time. And then we have basically right there is where we ended at. We got to cut some saplings out. That piece will come down. And then we just got that last little section right here and we'll be done moving the old fence out. Then we'll just be building a new. Well, we finished up here. We got all the little saplings cut out of this fence. We got it all pulled down. It's laid over. There is still a couple little chunks of concrete and a couple of the holes that I'm gonna have to dig out with a shovel, but beyond that, this fence is out. Now it's just time to chop it up into small sections and put it on a trailer and scrap it. I was planning to try and use some of this as a continuous type fence, but I don't think any of it's going to be any good for that anymore. So we're just going to scrap all of it, come in here and get all this thorny brush cut out and cleaned up, and then we'll be ready to build a new fence. We got a lot done today. It doesn't always necessarily feel like that. Looking at that pile and then that stretch of that fence, it just really looks like a big old mess, but we did get a lot done. We got this pen moved, put up, it's ready for cattle. That's just ready to start cleaning up and hauling away now, so we are good. I had my helper out here today helping. We are off to feed the harvest steers and the goats and Mojo, and we're going to call it an evening. Thank y'all for hanging out with us today. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you again in the next video.